What's up, guys? I'm back again today to make a semi-short little video talking about the oil leaks that you might experience in a Ford 7.3 diesel. Now, I know you hear a lot of people joking about 7.3s leaking, and if they if they're not leaking, they don't have any oil in them or whatnot. But as these things age, they're known to develop oil leaks. They're still one of the best diesel engines ever made. They'll still go hundreds of thousands of miles. They just develop leaks over time. So I'm gonna describe a few of the leaks that are common on these things, especially the ones up top that you'll find in the valley. But some of the oil leaks up top can drain down to the bottom of the engine and be quite deceiving to make you think that other things are leaking that actually aren't. So I'm gonna do my best to describe some of the stuff you'll see and some of the things you'll run across. So follow along, comment if you like the video, follow along, subscribe. But yeah, I'm going to do my best to kind of outline a lot of the most common things you're going to find oil leak wise on the 7.3. So here we go. You have this gasket between the high pressure pump and the reservoir, which leaks a lot because this is literally a tank full of oil, and that gasket seals the tank full of oil. And now these are the high pressure oil lines. Now these ones are nice. These are made out of hydraulic hoses. As you can see, they're swivel fittings, and they're just flares basically, and the friction of the friction when you tighten it up holds it together and keeps it from leaking. Now this one goes in there, and that one goes in there, and then in the back there's one that crosses over between the two heads. Now that's not original. Normally it's just one to the passenger side and one to the driver's side head, and you can get some pressure spikes in there, so they do a crossover line that helps equalize the pressure, and you can see it right here. It's actually quite a nice upgrade, and it'll come with these hoses. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you the original hoses. Now they look like this. They're sorry, the table's not magnetic. They look like this. Now, so you can see they're braided steel, and they have this snap to connect, STC snap to connect end on them, and there's this special tool you use to disconnect them. Well, as you can see, they move. There's an O-ring in here, and it's really a similar design to the snap to connect fitting on the 6 liters, and these will leak. This end was screwed onto the pump, and it was leaking, so you're getting oil coming out there. So these lines are another one of the issues that can cause leaks in the valley. Now, if you can see my hand, it's kind of healing now. This is a braided line, so you can see all the little furries poking out on here, and they will destroy the skin on your hand or whatever touches them. So be real careful when you're working with one of these. If you're not changing these lines here, get a piece of 5/8 or 3/4 heater hose, slit it down the middle and put it over this, because this will trash your hand. Now these ones are garbage, I'm just showing you. And so yeah, I don't need these things. These are bad. And one of the other things that can cause a leak in the valley is this. This is the exhaust back pressure valve actuator. Now, this is the turbo pedestal. Now, basically, it bolts down in the valley of the engine like this. And so this is a turbo oil feed line, and this is a drain back line. So the turbo will sit here. Now, what this is this is a little control solenoid. So what will happen is the oil will come in here, and it'll go up to the turbo to lube the turbo, but it also comes to this valve. Now what this is there's a little valve on the back of the turbo. Okay, not so much a little valve. Well, this guy lives on the back of the turbo on the outlet, and what it'll do is it'll sit here, and this actuator will open and close it. And so basically what it'll do is, like right now it can flow, and then now it can't. Now this thing can add a restriction. What this is for is conditions where the truck's really cold. This thing will it'll close, and it'll restrict the exhaust and increase the back pressure in the engine and help during warm-up. Well, because the oil comes in here, and this little module actuator in here moves back and forth, you can hear it. It's actuated by oil. There's a little piston in there with a seal on it, and when the seal goes bad, like as you can see this one has, there's it'll cruddy up the pedestal, and it'll put oil in the valley. So The kit you can get is it's an EBPV exhaust back pressure valve delete pedestal. So it'll look the same, except it won't have this solenoid and it won't have this whole actuator on it. And what they give you is, I'll include a picture of it. They give you a replacement back plate, this whole thing on the turbo. So it looks the same, it's just nice and shiny, and it doesn't have this shaft or the little holes. And that'll actually help you, it'll help you flow a little bit better on the exhaust, and you can eliminate this as a leak source. So that's a really good kit to have. It wasn't that expensive. You'll get a little bit better performance from it, because even though this is open, you can still see it's blocking probably 15% of the total diameter, or the total area of the exhaust right here. So if you're running big injectors or something, that would, I mean, you could probably notice it. But the reason most people delete them or get rid of it, you know, get away from this and get away from this type of pedestal, is because this guy leaks. So this was already done. I did this on this truck, you know, before I did this video. I'll do it on another one at some point and record the whole process. But yeah, this thing, trash, and this thing, trash. So between the exhaust back pressure valve pedestal, that actuator on it, these lines, mind you, they can leak at both ends, and this this gasket, you can have, you know, quite a few oil leaks, and it'll run out that hole down the bell housing like I told you. So anyway, if you're doing this, if you're doing the high pressure pumping, you're in here, it's a good idea to do the lines and do the pedestal if you want. I mean, you don't have to do the pedestal, but when you're up here already, it's easier to do. I mean, you got to take this off and pull the turbo, but I'll do a video on that. This is the gasket that goes between the high pressure pump and the reservoir, and it sits on there like this. So this is a suction of the pump. So if this gasket's bad anywhere in here, it can allow the oil to leak down into the valley. So you have the high pressure lines, the feed lines, the exhaust back pressure valve pedestal, and this gasket. I mean, other than that, I mean, you can get a valve cover leak, but they'll usually walk down these seams on the valve cover right here, that little indentation, then drip off the back. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the for leaks in here. I mean, you can see when I pulled the pump, I have a lot of oil here, but I'm gonna go ahead and sop that up. But yeah, oil leak wise, those are the three things. So if you're in here doing the pump, definitely do the gasket. It would be idiotic not to. And then if your best way to do it is climb up on the engine when everything's together, stuff some rags in there with needle nose pliers, sop it up, use some brake cleaner, and then start it. If you see it leaking around the braided lines, you know, coming out, or if you see it coming from under the pump, that's a telltale sign that that gasket between the pump and the reservoir is bad. And then if you can get a little mirror back there or whatever, you can see you'll see it if the exhaust back pressure valve pedestal is leaking. But like I said, any leak from this valley will go down the hole back there, and it'll look like you end up having a rear main seal leak. So what you do is you can get on the side of the transmission and clean it, and get under there and see where it's dripping from, because if it's dripping from the rear main, it'll be coming out under the black inspection plate. So you pull that off and look with a flashlight and you can see it dripping out. But most of the leaks on these things come from the valley, so it'll save you some time and money, and, you know, some fretting, because you might think, oh, my rear main's done, I gotta, you know, pull the engine or whatnot. But, you know, check here first. This is where the majority of the leaks are gonna come. Now, whoever had this truck before me siliconed the hole in the valley shut. So I was cleaning the engine and got some water in here, and I backed out of the driveway and hit the brakes a little too hard, and like 3 quarts of water and oil spilled down the bell housing. So that's when I decided I wanted to start cleaning everything under here after the oil pump failed. So yeah, I mean, leak wise, that's what you can do. It'll save you a lot of money. You know, you can get under there. Once you've already fixed these, you can get under there. If it's really thick with a putty knife, scrape it off, or you can use like purple power degreaser and a pressure washer, or simple green, or whatever degreaser you want. But yeah, this is where the leaks are most likely going to be coming from oil wise on the 7.3. So yeah, it's not that daunting of a task. You can definitely do it. So go ahead and watch the if you want to do the gasket, the high pressure pump gasket video, or I'm sorry, If you want to do the high pressure oil pump gasket replacement, watch the video on it. I created a video and it was done at the same time I'm doing all this work because you can see the pumps out. So as far as leaks go, that's what I got for you. And if you want to know how to do the oil pump, check out the video. Thanks.